Hi, it's Emma here from Women's Health and Hormones. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about hormone testing and what you need to know about hormone testing in order to help you get your hormones back in balance and your body back on track. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the principal practitioner at Women's Health and Hormones, which is a natural medicine clinic in the south of Melbourne on the Mornington Peninsula, and I specialise in helping women balance their hormones naturally. And I do this through a treatment method that I've developed over the last 17 years, which is called the Hormone Breakthrough Method. And the Hormone Breakthrough Method is a fantastic way to help women understand what's going on in their own bodies so that you can actually put steps into practice that will lead to long-term improvements in your hormonal regulation and also in other aspects of your health too. Most of my patients are amazed by other symptoms that they hadn't realised were possibly related to their hormones that improve as a result of using the strategies and the principles that make up the Hormone Breakthrough Method. If you'd like to learn more about the Hormone Breakthrough Method, you might be interested in downloading a digital copy of my book, which is called the Hormone Breakthrough Method, and you can access that on www.balancehormones.com.au/book. It's a beautifully illustrated book that's easy to read, and it also contains a bunch of great hormone balancing recipes at the end that can help you use food as medicine as part of this approach of balancing your hormones naturally and getting your body doing what it's trying to do anyway all the time naturally, getting that happening in the way that will give you most benefit. So let's have a bit of a closer look at hormone testing. When we're looking at hormone testing is really important. There's a lot of discussion around these days about how valid it is and whether it's beneficial, but after treating so many women over the last 17, 18 years of practice, what I've found is that gathering some information at the beginning of your treatment about what's actually going on in your hormonal regulation, your hormonal blueprint, really helps to fast track the process of individualizing your treatment. The more we know about your own specific hormonal balance and hormonal regulation, the more specific we can be in targeting herbal medicine and nutritional supplements, but also dietary and lifestyle strategies to get you the results that you're looking for. You know, transforming your health around so that you're no longer suffering from hormonal mood swings, fatigue, hot flushes, symptoms like acne, period problems. You know, we're able to transform that around over a number of weeks to months of treatment so that you just feel normal again, more energy, calmer, feeling more uplifted, more mental clarity, and less period problems and premenstrual symptoms. So those are the types of changes that most women experience as a result of following the steps in the step-by-step system that's part of the Hormone Breakthrough Method. And hormone testing is a really big part of that. So when we look at hormone testing, there's a number of different ways that you can test your hormones, and the type of hormone testing that's most useful depends on the symptoms that you have. And that's why, you know, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to treatment, and that includes in the what type of hormone testing that we use. We use different types of hormone testing for different women depending on what's going on in their body at that point in time. So an example here is looking at thyroid function. Thyroid function is really important, and many women who are suffering from symptoms of a hormonal imbalance also find that there's some issues or concerns going on with their thyroid function. And if we're needing to assess thyroid function, it's really best to do that through a blood test. And the easiest test that you can do there is called TSH, and you'll find any bulk billing GP will do that test for you. You can actually get that done through Medicare, which is terrific. It's measuring your thyroid stimulating hormone. It's only one part of the picture with thyroid function though, but it's a really good starting point. And sometimes we have to weigh up cost versus benefit with testing and, you know, see what we can do through the public health system to start to get some results coming through to give us a bit of a better, closer idea of exactly where the underlying imbalance is in your body that's causing your symptoms. So TSH is a great starting point there. We can then go on and do a comprehensive thyroid function test, which gives us even more information about thyroid function. And when we're looking at the thyroid function test, we'll also measure hormones like T3, T4, reverse T3, and the thyroid autoantibodies. Measuring thyroid autoantibodies is very, very relevant. I have lots of women who present with normal TSH, or TSH that maybe is coming back within the normal range but not the optimal range, but the GP has told them there's nothing wrong there, there's nothing further that we need to address. And then when I analyse what's going on in their health, and I'm concerned that there may be the possibility that the person may be suffering from an autoimmune condition that's causing an imbalance in the thyroid function, we can then go on and test the thyroid autoantibodies. And I've had so many patients who've come back with normal TSH but a significant elevation in thyroid autoantibodies. Now, the great thing about this is that it means that you're probably in the early stages of the condition, and it's much easier to address with natural medicine. Once you get to the point where the TSH is right out of the normal range, it's more challenging to address naturally, although there's a lot that we can do. We can in a complementary way with your medical practitioner in order to help to support thyroid function. But if you catch it in the early stages where maybe TSH is still normal, but we're able to discover a significant elevation in the autoantibodies, that changes the picture entirely, and there's so much that we can do. So, there's my little girl. So, looking at thyroid function is one area that is important to assess through a blood test. Other hormones that we often analyse through a blood test are the hormones follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. And both of these hormones are really relevant for women who may have symptoms that could be linked to a diagnosis of polycystic ovarian syndrome, and also for women who are wondering how far along the track of menopause they are. And keeping in the back of your mind that all that word menopause means is that there's been a 12-month duration of time since your last period, and once you reach that 12 months without having a period, you know that it's highly unlikely you're going to have another one, and we call that menopause. So when I'm talking about menopause, really I'm talking about that perimenopausal phase in the lead up to that time where you've gone 12 months without a period. And we can get an idea of what's going on there through measuring follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. And again, for the diagnosis of polycystic ovarian syndrome, looking at luteinizing hormone, follicle-stimulating hormone through blood work is really important, but there are other hormones that we check through blood work as well, including going on and looking at what's going on with fasting glucose and blood glucose regulation. It's important to assess with a diagnosis or potential diagnosis of polycystic ovarian syndrome. And then, of course, the pelvic ultrasound is really important there too. So, if you are concerned that you may have one of these medical conditions, then absolutely you need to have blood work done. If you're concerned that you have a hormonal imbalance, but it appears unlikely through analysing your case that you have one of those specific medical conditions, but it's very clear that you have a hormonal imbalance impacting you, you may well benefit from saliva hormone testing. I love saliva hormone testing. It's very sensitive and it's able to pick up small imbalances in the other hormones that don't show up through blood work, and we're able to test a wider variety of hormones too. So in a case where we're measuring the saliva hormones, the type of hormones that we assess in that case are definitely progesterone and testosterone, but also the three types of estrogen, E1, E2, E3. E2 can be measured through a blood test, but E1 and E3 can't be measured through a blood test. We need to do those through a saliva hormone test. I also love testing the adrenal hormones, cortisol and DHEAS, through a saliva sample to figure out what's going on with your body's stress hormone production and adrenal reserves. And we can even test the sleep hormone melatonin through a saliva hormone test. So this is all very valuable, and it'll give you a great idea where we need to be specific in your treatment in order to get your body back into balance again. I hope this information has been helpful for you, and I look forward to touching base with you in the future. Again, if you're wanting to find out more about how you can apply the information from your hormone test and how you can use that information to actually put steps in place to see improvements in your symptoms, you might be interested in downloading my book, The Hormone Breakthrough, at www.balancehormones.com.au/book. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up again soon. Bye for now.